No. So the question is, can a man get quality dress shoes for less than $100? Now, if you would have asked me this question 5 years ago, I would have said absolutely not. Fast forward to the present, gents, I have to say there are some pretty good options out there now for less than $100. That being said, there's still a lot of overpriced crap. So how do you spot quality in shoes under $100? What are the specific things to look for, and can I recommend any brands? Well, gents, that's the subject of today's video. So to get things started, let's define quality. For this video, I'm going to define quality shoes as shoes when you wear them, they make you feel like $1,000,000. They're incredibly comfortable. They just feel good right out the box. These are also shoes when you wear them, you can wear with a wide variety of your clothing because they're classically styled. The great thing about classic style is it isn't going anywhere. So when you get a classic pair of dress shoes, you know that they're going to work with your suits, with your odd jackets, your sports jackets, your blazers. You could even dress them down with a pair of jeans, but these are not going to be shoes that are going to go out of style in 10 years. Now, specifically here, I'm going to pay attention to the uppers, to the leather being used on the upper part of the shoe. I'm going to want to make sure this is something that over time is going to look better as you shine it, as you polish it. If you take good care of these shoes, these should last you 5 years. Now, notice what I didn't say, shoes using a Goodyear welt or a Blake stitch. I know usually I say that is a great sign of quality, and it is, but you have to expect to pay at least $200 or more for a pair of shoes that use a Blake stitch, $300 or more for Goodyear welts, because it's expensive to build. The shoes I'm talking about today are going to use a cement, basically a gluing process. There's nothing wrong with getting a good pair of shoes that have a well-developed upper and are glued together, and that's going to save you a lot of money. Now, speaking of saving you money, the shoes in today's video under $100 are brought to you by Scarpazzo, the sponsor of today's video. So Scarpazzo, which is a combination of two words, Scarpa and Pazzo, which means shoe crazy, they approached me earlier this year in San Antonio. We've got some amazing shoes under $100. I'm like, okay, send them to me and I will test them. And that's exactly what they did. They sent me a pair. I've been wearing them and I have to say, I absolutely love them. So my favorite part about these shoes, they're comfortable right out the box. I put these things on, wore them, didn't get any blisters, any hot spots. Absolutely love the fit. Now the shoes are made in Italy and they're using a full grain leather on the upper. And when I look at the upper, I didn't find any blemishes. So they did a great job choosing the leather, and overall, it's just got a really nice supple feel. What I love about this is over time, you polish it, you take care of these are going to look better as the years go on. Now, when I look at the inside of the shoe, they did a good job with the construction here as well. What I really like is they've got another layer of thin leather on the inside. This is important because it's going to absorb sweat. I see a lot of cheaper shoes skip over this. And again, just using a great material, the laces are nice, and overall, the style is solid. This is a classic style, a cap toe that's going to work with all of you, basically your nice clothing. You can dress this down in this color right here. This would be great for a pair of odd trousers, gray flannels with a sports jacket. I could also wear jeans with this. If I were to go with black, then that's going to be great for a suit. Maybe go for that darker brown over there. That's going to be great. Maybe you want to wear some gray flannels again, or maybe even some jeans with a sports jacket. Now, as I said, this pair right here, I have been wearing. It molded to my feet. What I love about it, it was just comfortable. And that's not going to happen with all dress shoes. To me, that's a testament they were using a good last. And I'll give you a little bit of insight about this company. So they're just starting up. They've only got 3 colors in one style, but they can probably come out with more. Point being is this is a classic style. This is a company that's making a high quality shoe. Now I could say that, or I could actually really show you. So here's the deal. I've bought cheap shoes made of polyester, made of plastic on Amazon before. They smell bad, they look bad, and when you cut them open, on the inside, it is bad. Seriously, just look at this thing. So with Scarpazzo, I really wanted to see the inside of these shoes. They're claiming they're high quality. Let me see it. So I took one for the team, ordered another pair on Amazon. I paid for these with my own money, had these delivered, and guess what? I cut them in half. Yes, you want to see it? Check this out. All right, gents, you ready? Oh, wait, got to take the laces out. FYI, anytime you're going to cut a pair of shoes in half with a bandsaw, make sure you take those laces out. You don't want them to get caught up in the blade.
One eternity later.
There we go. All right, boys, let's do this. No! I wonder if I hit a piece of metal or something. That is not cutting through, which is a good sign. Obviously, gents, we just need a little bit more horsepower. Just kidding, gents. I need my safety gear first. So what I'm going to do is start at the back of the shoe, and hopefully I do not lose any fingers. All right, so as you can see, I had to get a bit creative with cutting up this shoe, but I can see what I want to see. The details here I'm seeing in the heel. This is on shoes that, yeah, I've cut other high quality shoes in half, and this is a sign of $300, $400, $500 shoes. Now, how much are these costing them? I'm not sure exactly, because when I go in there and I look at the details, they're using metal tacks. These guys are not making much money on the shoes. I think their tactic is to break into the market, basically put out a high quality item that other people are gonna be like, wow, this is like a no-brainer. This is easily a great starter shoe. Yes, you're not getting a Goodyear welt, you're not getting a Blake Stitch, but you are getting amazing quality upper and just an overall solid build. The rubber that they're using right here in the sole, very different from cheaper rubber I've seen on other shoes. And again, I will tell you with 100% certainty, this is an amazing deal, so jump on it. Gents, I'm linking the Scarpazzo down in the description of today's video with the best deal you're gonna find out there on the web. And really quick, gents, here in a month, I'm gonna have to pull this part out of the video because that discount code down there is not gonna be around forever. Amazon sets it up so it's only good for 30 days, so use it or lose it, guys. I'm linking to them over on Amazon. Again, they've got one style in 3 different colors. And again, guys, I'd go grab multiple ones. Find the size that you like. They follow the Braddock system, so it's very easy to find your right size. You can get them through Amazon, so you can return them if you get the wrong size. But guys, go take advantage. I haven't seen a company come out with something like this for a long time, so I'm happy to bring it to you. And it's a great sponsor, great company, so go check them out. Now guys, if you're enjoying this video, I would appreciate it if you would smash that like button and feed the algorithm. That way more men like you find these videos. And if you're new to Real Men Real Style, well, welcome. I'd love for you to subscribe and join our community. Now, when you're looking to buy shoes under $100, and yes, these are cut in half, you want to be careful of the warning signs. One of the first ones that I notice is look at the styles. Now, I've got tons of infographics out there that I talk about the different styles of dress shoes, but if it's not a classic style, if it seems like some designer wanted to take his own interpretation and he's putting that out there for $75 on Amazon, you can bet that he spent maybe $8 on the total build of that shoe, and that in this case, he's using like a rubber petroleum type of product. I mean, it's just really, yeah, the style right here, these details, this is not, I mean, it's cool, I guess, if you want to wear a costume. And if you're buying shoes for costume purposes, fine. But I still think you're going to be overpaying because you can get such better quality. I mean, these are, yeah, worth less than $10. Wear them once for Halloween. That's really what these are for. Patent leather. This is another thing. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to get patent leather because I never have to polish it. Here's the thing. Patent leather, high quality, yes, you could go with that. Maybe in military circles, it's fine. But I would say for the average guy, don't go with patent leather. It never looks good. It never looks high quality. And you're going to be better served to get a black dress shoe that you just spend a little bit of time shining and polishing. Another warning sign is when a company doesn't use leather. And I know I've seen many leather alternatives. I get it if you're just anti-leather, but for the majority of people out there, leather is still going to be the luxury standard. It is going to cost more. And that's one of the reasons that most manufacturers avoid leather. They simply want to go for something that's going to bring down the cost. So not only are they building something with shoddy construction, but they're also using a material that's not going to breathe, that isn't going to absorb any moisture. And when it doesn't absorb moisture and your feet sweat throughout the day, all of a sudden it's going to start to smell. It's going to start to break up the actual composition. They're also going to use on the inside very cheap glues, cheap construction, cheap materials. I mean, if they're not using leather up here on the upper, then you can bet that they're not using any good type of material throughout the whole construction of the shoe. Now, this next point's a little bit harder to show and illustrate, but you want to pay attention to the density of the rubber being used in the sole. So I'll tell you with Scarpazzo, one thing I loved about it is not only was the thickness of the sole about double on the cheaper shoes, but I could tell they were using a higher density material. So low density materials, they're going to be lighter, but the issue with them is that they're going to break down, they're going to tear through. Basically, you're going to cut through this sole a lot quicker. You could have nails go through this. They're just not going to be as durable. They're also a lot cheaper. Higher density soles, not only are these going to be tougher, they're going to last longer and they're going to protect your feet. Now, this next trick to spot quality, I don't think anyone ever talks about, and that is look at the heel. Is the heel look like it's one solid piece? If it is, that's not a good thing, especially if that one solid piece is made of rubber. As I've shown you when I've cut through this, it's not solid rubber. On the inside, they actually have these big open cavities that, yeah, some designer somewhere thought that would be great. Oh, he's bringing in the whole, air cushion thing. No, it doesn't work that way, especially on dress shoes. Instead, what you want to look for on quality dress shoes is they've built the heel with layers. So you want to go through and say, okay, how many can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a great thing. And as I show you when I cut these shoes open, what did I immediately notice? They were using layers. They were using different materials. They were even using tacks on these shoes under $100, which I thought was pretty awesome. Here's a closer view right here. Do you see the nail? Another detail you want to pay attention to is going to be the stitching. So first up, you want to look, is the stitching going to be straight? Believe it or not, you see a lot of shoes that people are saying, oh, that's great quality. Then you look at the stitching, it's all over the place. Oftentimes it's only got maybe like 5 to 6 stitches per inch, which is a bad thing. You want to get more like 10 to 12 stitches per inch on your shoes. You also want to go through, did they double stitch? That is oftentimes a good thing, especially when it's really close. And just follow the lines. Look at all the small details. I love looking at those small details, seeing how did they connect that upper to the sole. I know that this is going to be glued, but is there any glue that's outstanding that kind of came out? When I look at the way that the cap is attached to the upper part of the shoe here in the front, the stitching again is going to go straight across. Just the overall finishing, everything looks good there. That's the type of detail that you want to pay attention to. Now, for a lot of guys, the question is going to be, well, Antonio, I still want the option to resole. Can you actually resole glued shoes? And the answer is it depends. Now, opening this up and looking on the inside here, the amount of the upper that goes underneath here, I would say I think that a good cobbler could probably resole these a couple times. But the thing with like Goodyear welted shoes and Blake Stitch is that you should be able to, resole those dozens of times if that's your thing. I would say for this, yeah, this is a great bet. Again, look and pay attention to the upper. That's going to be the most important thing, that you've got a good leather, that you like. It's a style that you're going to be able to wear. And when it comes down to it, guys, you want to think, okay, how many hundreds of wears am I going to be able to get out of this? It's going to end up being 50 cents, 25 cents a single wear. And that's how I really value things. It's not how much it costs. It's how many times you're going to wear it. How's it going to make you feel? And really, that's what you want to be paying attention to. All right, Jen, so I know you got an opinion. I want to hear from you down in the comments. Agree? Disagree? Do you think you can get quality dress shoes for under $100? Did I make a good case for it? Or do you feel, nah, Antonio, I'm always going to get Goodyear welted. I'm always going to get Blake stitched. Let me know down in the comments what you think. So what video to watch next? Well, let's talk about black dress shoes and jeans. Do you think this is a good combination? Yes? No? Find out what my opinion is here in the video. I give a little bit of guidance. I'm not going to ruin it for you. Go check out this video. I have fun with Venn diagrams. And let me know if you agree, disagree, but go check out the video right here.